venue, an iconic London location that is home to the competition this week. We've got 4 tables in all, but we are focusing firmly on table number 1, and this is the second session of the day. We've already seen the men in action. Hong Kong, China kicked things off against the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. A straight sets win, a clean sweep for them in what is now the knockout stage of the competition. Next up, it's Team China's women, the most dominant team in world table tennis, defending champions in both men's and women's. They're taking on Poland before the USA face off against France in the men's, and Team Germany looking really strong for the women. They're against Malaysia from 7:30 local time. So this is how they line up. China with a formidable starting lineup led by Sun Ying-sha, the long-time world #1. She's up against Susanna Vielglos for the first match. It could be over in 3. The Chinese will be hoping so anyway, because this is a best of 5. It's then Kwai Man up next after, against Natalia Bayor, before Wang Monyu, the world #2, is in action. We didn't see her on the opening day, so she'll be well rested ahead of match number 3. So the stage is set, the round of 32. 64 women's and 64 men's teams began this competition across 2 iconic London venues. The Copper Box, an Olympic legacy arena, hosted the preliminary stages, and here come Team China stepping out into Wembley. Familiar faces across their team. Here's a best of 5. First team to win 3 matches will progress to the round of 16. And here come the Polish team. Maria, how must the Poles be feeling going up against the defending champions, the most successful nation in table tennis history? They've won 23 of these titles. No other team has even got into double figures.
Yeah, I think Poland will have all the ambition, but, you know, Team China coming out, not lost a match yet here, and they're very, very, very good. But I think Poland, they have the opportunity. They have young blood through them. You can see them all there, young, coming up into the team. And I think they'll put on a good show. They're very good players, very offensive, very close to the table.
Well, we are looking forward to seeing this one, but the stats, the history favours China. That's how they line up, and look at the world rankings. 1, 2 and 7. Kwai Man, of course, was inside the top 5. She was actually #4 in the world not so long ago. So by her standards, by Team China standards, that's a bit of a drop, and that's scary, isn't it? Considering how that for them is low.
Yes, definitely, but I don't think that will phase them at all. These rankings, they go up and down depending on how many tournaments you've played. Kwai Man, time and time again, has shown 72, but as we've seen throughout this tournament and all tournaments previous, world ranking at the end of the day sometimes doesn't mean too much. 172 is a very, very respectable and good world ranking.
Absolutely. As we welcome in Jacqueline Williams, our umpire for this one, and we saw on that graphic there, Maria, that Vielglos has actually been inside the top 50 2 years ago, so she definitely has what it takes to challenge here, but does she have enough? That is the question. In terms of previous head-to-heads between these 2 nations, they've played each other 3 times, and China haven't dropped a single match across those 3 encounters. 3-0 in 2014, 3-0 in 2012, and 3-0 in 2010. This is the Tata coin toss to determine who will serve first. Sun chooses her side of the table. Maria, is there anything to be read into that? I mean, do you want to play facing your teammates first, or do you want them behind you as we look here at the leaning racket reveal?
I think from when I was playing, 100%, it depends on the person. I used to love having my back to my teammates. I could turn around, I knew when they were there, I could turn and face them and give them that. But sometimes it can be a little bit of a distraction, but other players, they like to have that face-on contact with their coach who can communicate with them subtly. But clearly, Sun Ying-sha wants to face her team. And, you know, it might depend on the lighting in the hall. Team China have already played in this hall, so they might know the lighting a little bit better, and also the fans as well, where you know, if they want to face the majority of the fans or not. But there we go.
And look at that in terms of career winning percentage, 87%. I mean, that's just an unthinkable figure, Maria. Did you ever come up against a player in your playing days? Of course, Maria Tsapsinos played for England a number of times, but did you ever come across a player of the might and dominance of Sun Ying-sha?
I think during my career, thankfully for myself, I actually I never got drawn against players like Sun Ying-sha or anyone like that in team events. I do remember playing Ching Yi-ching from Chinese Taipei once, and that was, needless to say, we were playing out in Taipei at that point. Needless to say, was not the greatest match I've ever played against. These players at this top level are really, really tough, and they're really, really consistent.
And they're none more consistent than Sun Ying-sha, who's been at the top of the world standings for the last 4 years, getting on for half a decade at the summit of the standings, which is unthinkable dominance. And, you know, if we think of other sports, I mean, I'm not sure we can really name any other player who's been head and shoulders at the top of the world standings across any other sport in the way that Sun Ying-sha has in table tennis.
Yeah, she is that dominant force right at the top, and that's why the fans love her in China. She's that consistent spearhead.
China to serve.
And I'm sure she will show us what she's capable of now.
You can already hear the Chinese fans inside the Wembley Arena shouting for their favourite. And it's the first point to the world number one. But Maria, how does a player like Djurgård prepare for a match against someone like Sun Ying-sha in what is their first meeting?
I think you've got to go into the match the same as you would with any other match. You've got to come in knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses. Obviously, that plays in your mind. You're playing against the world number one, and not just a recent world number one, a long-standing world number one. So you have got that in the back of your mind. But at the same time, you know, all these players, they're capable of so much. They're playing on the world stage. This isn't a local tournament. This is the World Championships. And you can see there, she's holding her over the top of the table, getting into those rallies. But Sun Ying-sha just so quick and rapid with that footwork, getting out to that wide forehand.
Well, this match is a best of 5. The first player to win 3 games will win the match. First point on the board for the pole. Poland played their earlier matches across in the copper box, Maria, on the other side of the city. China, as you mentioned earlier, have played in this arena before. How much difference can we expect in the conditions between those two venues?
Well, I definitely think that there will be a definite different atmosphere here. It's a bit of a grander hall. There's way more spectators here out today for these later knockout rounds. So that atmosphere will be different to soak up. And, you know, every hall is slightly different. The size, the humidity, it really plays a factor in the ball. But I think for players top like this, that they're not going to struggle too much getting into the environment. They've all played at this top level. A great serve there. A little reverse serve by Viglos. Just half long on the table. Sun Ying-sha didn't know whether to attack.
7-3.
It's interesting we talk about Team China, and we talk about their men's and women's all being part of the one team. They've got a great sense of unity amongst both teams there. And of course, with Team China's men losing yesterday to Sweden in what was a really thrilling fixture, do you think that will have had any impact on the women today? Is the pressure on them greater now?
3-2. 9.
If I was thinking about it logically, they're one nation, they're one team. But I think the women, they're really, really dominant. You've seen over the years the European players and, you know, Hugo Calderano from Brazil, they're all getting closer to the Chinese men's team.
3,
But
10.
the women, they haven't been threatened as much. So I don't think that would have knocked their confidence or knocked them at all. As you can see, a 10-3 lead here for Sung Yee-sha.
Left. 3, 10.
A little bit of fortune
Game
there for Sung
China.
Yee-sha. Takes the first game. And Vilgos really didn't do too much wrong there. It's, you know, it's those marginal slight differences. Sung Yee-sha just so consistent over the top of the table.
There we go then, one-sided in favour of Sung Yee-sha, 11 points to 3. Takes the opening game in dominant fashion. Well, there are 4 tables in total here in the Wembley Arena. Let's cross to table 2. This is match point. Anna Hersey of Wales taking it in the 5th against Du Hoi Kem of Hong Kong, China. Quite unbelievable stuff for the Welsh team, Maria, many of whom you actually know quite well. And they have now entered their deciding game.
Love 1.
Yes, I used to play it alongside some of those Welsh players, and I wish them luck going into this 5th game. I really hope to see them in the next round. But here we are with Sung Yee-sha to serve.
2, love.
Well, it's a good start here for the Pole. Clearly, she's learned some lessons from that opening game. And how is she adjusting, Maria? What differences have you seen in these very opening stages?
She's come out a lot more aggressively.
Love.
Susanna Viglos. She's really got to get over the top of the ball. Sung Yee-sha is not going to give her an inch. So, as you can see there over the top with that backhand straight into Sung Yee-sha, just adding that little bit of extra pressure. And again there, you can see she opened up lovely down the line with that backhand. Put Sung Yee-sha slightly out of position, but she just couldn't get that 5th ball attack on.
Oh, I love watching the players' expressions and reactions, and just take another look at this point, and Viglos clearly disappointed with hitting that one long. It's relentless from Sung Yee-sha.
Yeah, she does not stop, no matter the scoreline. You can just see there, pushing Viglos away from the table. Wow, what some backhands from Viglos right there. You know, she's really holding Sung Yee-sha into those backhand-to-backhand rallies, and you can see there the strength and the whip of her arm coming across to generate that power. Sung Yee-sha just staying closer to the table and holding her off. But I think Viglos is doing everything she can, and she's doing everything right. You can't be passive against players, especially the world #1. You've really got to come out and you've got to play at 200% and hope that those shots work.
6, 3.
Because if you start being passive, these players, they're going to be all over you and dominate in those areas.
It's amazing as well, the Sun Ying-sha forehand. She's so strong off both wings, isn't she? And she's able just to find that extra bit of speed and power too.
You see how much of her body she uses in that shot.
3-8.
Vilgos just getting a little bit irritated there, snatching at the ball. But those backhands have been going on for her.
Well, you can understand the irritation. She's now conceded the last 9 points after what was a really good start. Oh, that was brilliantly done.
9-4.
Right over the top of the table there for Vilgos, showing us what she can do with that backhand. Sun Ying-sha still with serve. And she is so clever with her serve, with the placement. You've seen before she's been playing those sort of reverse serves to the backhand, and they're just taking Vilgos short forehand.
5,
And what a
10.
brilliant shot there by Vilgos, taking Sun Ying-sha out to the wide forehand, right over the top of the bounce, didn't hit its peak, and there she was, straight down the line, great margins.
5, 10.
A long way back though for Vilgos in this game. Oh, and it's a resurgence
10,
for the pole.
6.
We talked earlier, Maria, about her frustration. She's channeled that into something very positive here, and now it's Sun Ying-sha who's probably getting a little bit irritated. A much better showing from Vilgos, who's growing into it, but Sun Ying-sha is just on a different level. Let's have a look then at the world rankings here. Utter domination for China's women, occupying the first 3 spots and 6 out of the world's top 10. But look at those 2 names. Zhu Ling, the former Team China player, now representing Macau, China, former world number 1, made her comeback just last year and is already back up to world number 4. Miwa Harimoto of Japan, well, she's occupying the 5th spot. There's a look then at 2 of China's superstars, both in the top 10. Wang Menyu on the left, Chen Qingtong on the right. We haven't seen either of those players playing yet this week, and we certainly look forward to seeing Wang Menyu in the next match. Or the match after the next one, I should say. We have to wait a little for Wang Menyu, but this is another lovely point, Maria, from the pole.
Yeah, and as we've seen throughout the match, she's dominating on that backhand side, and she's really using her force to get those angles down the line. She's done that a couple of times now. There, Sun Ying-sha just turning around that corner like she does so effortlessly, but uses a lot of strength from the legs and her body to whip that angle cross court.
2 all.
A rare miss there, allows Vilgos to draw level. Now this is a must-win for Vilgos, Maria, and as a player who's played at this level, representing your country, if you're in a must-win game, what is the pressure like? Is it more when you're playing for your team than it is for when you're an individual?
Yeah, definitely, you have that team camaraderie around you that really helps you, someone to look at on the bench, not just your coach or teammates that you've probably practiced against many thousands of hours. But that pressure does hold to you. but also in the other way, you have your teammates to rely on. So although you might not win one match, you know that you have strength and depth within your team to come on and win those next matches. But it is high stakes here at the World Championships.
5-2.
And of course, we are into the knockout stages now, so the stakes have got even higher, and perhaps Vilgos is feeling the heat. Calls for the timeout here.
Spokojnie, staraj się dobrze przyjąć set, tak? Jak można go przebić, to go przebić. Wygrasz bardzo dobrze blokiem i zmiana. Potem trzeba podjąć ryzyko, tak? Natomiast jak już leci taki wyższy jak teraz, to otwieraj go, tak? Patrz na piłę. Na swoim serwie, jak można, jak masz piłkę do grania, ona dobrze wcina. Trzeba dać rotację pierwszą. Tą przy 1-0 miałaś taką, chciałaś płasko zagrać, zagraj jej na stół. Potem to już jest taka bitwa, kto jest lepszy. No ona jest lepsza, ale masz szansę przynajmniej rozgrywać punkty, rozgrywać piłki. Próbuj.
Ready to get back underway then with Sun Ying-sha with the serve. And it's a great restart for Vilgos. And Maria, what kind of things would you talk to your coach about in timeouts? Because sometimes we see players who are happy not to talk, and sometimes we see heated discussions.
Yeah, I was always a heated discussion kind of player. But I think a lot of the time also it's to disrupt the rhythm of your opponent as well. If they get on a roll, a couple of points, maybe to take a deep breath for yourself. And sometimes you can call that yourself, or sometimes you're so in it that your coach can call it. But they'll be talking about her strengths, what she can do, where she's been winning the points. And that is unfortunate. She's really holding her there on that backhand to backhand. I guess you are playing the world #1, so it is tough to get past the wall that is Sun Ying-sha.
8-3.
Yeah, she's running away now with this third game. It seems Sun Ying-sha wins this, and she wins the first of potentially 5 matches in this tie.
3-9.
You can see even slightly out of position Sun Ying-sha there. The quality she can get on from that middle ball, you can see there, just spinning it up, that wrist action. So hard to control over the other side of the table.
4-9.
Yeah, and she's just so solid, isn't she, through the core and through the legs. Very low centre of gravity.
9-5.
It's a good point, though, for Vilgos.
Vilgos has really been playing some great table tennis, but as we keep saying, so hard when you're up against Sun Ying-sha. But
Oh, well,
9-6.
she's closing the points in.
she is. That's 3 consecutive points then for the pole. Well, make that 4. This has been a really impressive run of points for Vilgos. And what's different, Maria? What's going wrong and what's going right?
Well, you can see she's stepped over slightly to that forehand side with her backhand for the last couple of points. Oh, and some unfortunate luck there while she was on a roll. Leads match point to Sun Ying-sha. Vilgos not afraid to go for those shots and get those angles. You've seen she's been very good at hitting those parallel shots.
But Sun Ying-sha holds her off and wraps up the third 11 points to 8. It was a decent mini revival from Vilgos, but it's a straight games win for Sun Ying-sha. Takes it 3-0 to get Team China off the mark. So then, Sun Yingsha gets China's campaign in the knockout stages off to a straight games win over Zuzana Vilgos. Next up, it's the turn of world number 7, Kuai Man, against Natalia Bayor. We'll then see Wang Manyu in action for the first time this week when she is up in match 3. Let's look at the players he'll take to the table next. Kuai Man and Natalia Bayor. So that's to come very shortly. Really looking forward to this one. Kuai Man will look to continue China's unbeaten streak. Welcome back to Wembley and the women's teams. This is the knockout stage, the round of 32. We began this championship with 64 teams, and that has now been halved. And we are looking at table 1, where the defending champions, China, are looking very strong indeed in their title defense. They haven't dropped a game. So